in all of our lives where we either around us that we can't do it. We don't have the skills. We don't have the knowledge. We don't have the money. We don't have the resources. And we go back to doing what we've been doing and settle for mediocrity, living below our potential. Or there's the other option. You decide within yourself that you are sick and tired of living the way you've been living. You stand up within yourself and make a full commitment. You're going to fully commit to your dreams, to your goals, to your vision of the future. But I say to you, whatever it is you want to demonstrate in your life experience, it's on you. That as you look out where you want to go, it's on you to decide to move you from there. That a lot of us don't do any more than what we're not doing because we're living of the conversations or the opinions or the expectations that people have of us. And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream. And one day, I can live my dream. But you're already there. Well, you don't know how you're going to make this happen, but you just feel within yourself some way, somehow, I'm going to make it happen. Oh, you're being unrealistic. You're dreaming. Yes, I am dreaming. So a lot of people have stopped dreaming. Don't you stop it. A lot of people have given up. A lot of people don't even want and ask life for anything because they don't believe they can have it. No, don't allow those negative thoughts to take over your mind. When all hell is breaking loose in your life, you got to tell yourself, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Lies within you and you alone. When you understand and accept this, then nothing or no one can deny you greatness.
He's getting big, Christian.
Is yours, and no one can take that away from you. See, when you acknowledge that, hey, it's me, I'm the one, I've got to do this. I'm the one that's going to turn this around. So I got some roadblocks here. It's not easy for me. But ultimately, I know that these roadblocks, these obstacles, this opposition won't stop me from doing what I want to do. It can temporarily cripple me or make it inconvenient, but it won't stop me. It will not determine my reality. And yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be rough. Yes, it's going to take every bit of your energy and push you harder than you ever thought possible. But if your reason for doing this is strong enough, you can make it through this. Because I know every single one of you is tougher than whatever problems you face. They're not bigger than you. They're not tougher than you. And as you overcome each and every one of these challenges, you won't be worn down by them. No, they will sharpen you into a stronger, more resilient weapon to take on any mission that stands in your way of victory. I want you to look in the mirror every damn day and say, I am proud of you. I believe in you. You can do anything you want. You are powerful. You say, if it's hard, then I'll do it hard. I won't allow this to stop me. I don't have the option of easy, and I don't think any of us do. Going around trying to find a little dream that doesn't require much responsibility or not too stressful or won't be too much of a hassle. No. All you need to do to get out in the arena of life is to affirm to yourself, I can make every day, every moment you push forward, you're saying to the world and to yourself, it's possible. In spite of rejection, in spite of failure, you keep...
Thank you, Christine. Now the music goes off. La 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 la. Me and him have something in common. We both used to be independent traders. Has any of you watched the thing on my community page yet? Told you a bit about where I'm from and the lads I grew up with. You know, that snowballed into a cartel, and long story short, good meets evil. Good walks away from evil. Good doesn't listen to the devil no more. You know, and as long as I have my faith, I believe in Jesus. I believe. Do you understand? I believe. I'm a believer. you know. How you got? I'm a big believer in karma. I'm a big believer. I was a big believer in Man United until last night, but it's embarrassing. But well, Christine, you see, the place where I grew up, fuck it, it is what it is. I'm happy for Pablo. At least one of us won. You know, so it's still a win for the team, even though my team didn't win. Pablo's part of my team, not Bruno's team. Pablo won last night, you know, fair play to Tottenham. They wanted them more, they were more hungry. You know, so yeah, shout out to Pablo. So basically, many years ago in a land far, far away where everybody wanted to be like their mate's big brother. Everybody wanted to be the next villain. I'm gut sick, but what here, bro? What am I meant to do? Punish myself for the rest of the year? We weren't good enough last night, bro. You know, Tottenham were better than us. And they were more hungry, or they wanted it more. I felt like they wanted it more than us last night. You know, so no complaints from me here. I am wounded, maliciously wounded here. You know, it's like, but it is what it is. And Tottenham wanted them more last night, and fair play to them. Even though it kills me, you have to be humble, you know, when you win and when you lose. Not everything's about winning. It's about taking part. It's about a team effort. Well, thank you for coming in, Christine. Nah, Scott's not wrong. I'm fucking gutted, I am, obviously, but, you know, it's been a disappointment season, and in all fairness, last night just sums it up. You know, this is the worst season we've ever had, but I have faith. I come to Manchester in 1993, and at the time, Fergie was our manager. His first season in charge, second City relegated, and then went on to dominate English football. I will. Like, Finn's part of the team, like Loudie is there, you know, it's like... Now, the whole reason I posted certain things on my community page today is because there's a lot of people on YouTube who think they're well hard, you know, who think they're 10 men, you know. Like, if you're on your own and someone catches you when they're with their mate, it's like, you're going to have to answer for your words, and you're responsible for your actions, and you will fall in line like everyone else. It's like, you know, there's a lot of people on this community who think they're real tough. Well, have a look on my community page, watch that documentary, and you'll understand. Like, where I come from, they move metric tons of weight. Now, that's super heavyweight, you know, metric tons of it. You know, tons of cocaine, allegedly, and heroin comes in the docks on a monthly basis. You know, and it's all, like I said, Dublin gangland is like a termite mound. It's well structured and well layered. You know, it's like, and it's fucking scary over there. You know, it's like, I grew up with a lot of good lads who turned into bad lads. You know, once you take someone's life, there's no taking that back. There's no, sorry, it's gonna fix it. You know, and loads of my pals, like at home, are in jail for murder, allegedly. And here's the thing, you know, I remember when we were all kids growing up and all, and, you know, we were only fucking muppets, we were, you know, like, because if the truth be told, and Spencer will tell you this, down the road from where I lived, all the bigger lads used to pal around. And a lot of my friends, some of the big brothers were Red Wall boys, the Red Wall gang, whatever. And I always wanted to be like one of them. And a lot of them protected me, you know. We look after our own, and no one gets left behind, you know. I got tortured in Cherry Orchard. I never told on anyone. And people remember that. You can fucking beat the brakes out of me, mate, and I didn't tell on me pals, you know. And out of all them, I was the first one to get a major beating for being stupid, you know. But like I said, when you get older, you have your own kids and all, you look back on it and you're like, fuck me, mate, how did I survive that? You know. But like I said, if you've watched it's an 18-minute documentary on my community page. A lot of the lads that I grew up with, some of the lads I played on football teams with, some of the lads I spent like nearly 9 years of my life up there. You know, I moved to Ballier I just turned 10 and I left, I think, in 93. I think it was July. But I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I just know the year, but I know it was before my birthday. You know, it's like, and I walked away, and I wish a few of my mates had doing the same thing, you know, and I reckon they would have been still alive today, you know, but they wanted a big piece of that cake, and in order to get a big bit of that cake, you're going to have to get your hands sticky, you know, and you have so many other people that are looking to have sticky hands like you know. Like I said, I know, I reckon that if a few of my mates had gotten away from Cherry Orchard, you know, you're a product of your environment, and when everybody around you wants to be a bad man, you know, I mean, it's a dangerous playground, you know, because there's multiple egos there, and everybody's trying to prove themselves and put the work in, and, you know, build it and they'll come. Joe McDonald's and I'm dumb. I got into selling drugs very young. I was manipulated very young because when you want to be like your mate and like that big brother, do you understand? When I say me mates and their brothers, I mean household names, gangsters from Dublin. You know, and I always wanted to be like them, but when I had my own children, I said to myself, do you know what? I wouldn't want my kids going down the road I went down. I wouldn't know what to do, like, but I've been blessed with them. You know, they're all good kids and they'll go school, college, hopefully university, because education's the way forward. And once you get yourself a degree, as long as you keep your nose clean, listen to your coaches, your teachers, your peers, your mentors, you know, and you won't go wrong. You know, it's like I used to think that I knew everything and I was always right and all that bollocks, but there's no progress for you when you're like that. Do you understand? It's like you just will not admit that there's a problem. And we have an awful time admitting when we're in the wrong. You know, because we're men and we're meant to be strong like a tree and we're not meant to have any weaknesses. But if you go through life like that, you're going to struggle, major struggle. You know, like I say it and I see it. You know, I see things happen before they happen and I say it'll happen and then it happens. You know, I said the next thing I hit, I'll break. But like I said, if you are interested in Dublin and the gangland that went on my community page, there's a little documentary, yeah. Now there's loads of different parts. Sub to the channel. I forget what it's called, yeah. But on my community page I posted something somebody shared. Someone said, bro, you went to school with that fella, didn't you? I said, yeah. What was he like, bro? What do you mean, what was he like? Fuck's sake. We were kids. you know, playing man's games in a man's world. And we were boys, you know, we at 15 years old because I had a lot of protection and I had a lot of the lads watching me six because I was a cash cow. I was the youngest out of them all, me and one other fella, and we took more risks than the older lads would do. But the older lads were smarter than us, you know. Let them do it, you know. They're not. He's 15. You know what I mean? It's like, whereas if you were asking me and I'm in my 20s, you know, more than likely you're going to get nicked. It's like, whereas when you're that age here, your ma, I don't know, many times my ma had to come down to Ballyferma police. You know what I mean? Me dad come down a few times. I got my ass whooped, man, by me dad. Like, you know, growing up where I did, like, there was a lot of stolen vehicles, allegedly, on a weekly basis at night. You know, and me mates used to try outdo each other. See who pulled the best stoner or the best handbraker, to see who can take the best police chase. You know, stupid stuff like that. But when you're a kid, like, shit like that is fun. It's exciting. It's not exciting when you're getting bashed by four guards in the police station when your man dad's not there, and they say that you banged yourself while you were getting dragged out of the car. But in all fairness, look at today, somebody reached out to me and asked me, did I see this documentary? And I said, of course I seen it. You know, it's like, me, like I said, there's loads of Ballyfermets all around the world. You know, in Australia, in America, you know, everywhere there's criminality. You know, and where there's a supply, there's a demand. You know, and the public demand a shitload of drugs. And that's why metric tons of drugs come through ports all around the world on a daily basis and they don't even see it. You see, hush money and all that. Like, I watched this documentary this morning about my friends, right? And I was thinking, you know, like, if I'd have been still over there, like, I left at 18, right? And there was this kid when I left, and he must have been about, I say I was 18, I'd say this kid was about 11, this particular lad, and he's gone on to become the head boss in the family, and he's the younger brother, allegedly. You know, next level. Like, the kids that come after me and my mates when I fucked off were more hungrier. We set a precedent in a way. We set a standard here. You know, now I know my mum and dad wouldn't have been proud of it. You know, but me and a couple of other people started something that escalated and now it's a fucking cartel. We were all part of it, allegedly. You know, it's like, and some of us got the bounce and some of us didn't. You know, it's like, and like I will write about it, it's just going, it's hard. You know, it's like I've a lot of friends, you know what I mean, that have said to me, bro, right, it'd be fun. You know, yeah, it'd be fun for you to read, but not for me to go back in time and open up fucking Pandora's box, mate. It's not as it, like I said, this has to be flawless, this fucking thing. And like I said, full disclosure, you know, a few of my mates have said, bro, write the fucking book. It's not as if you need permission off anyone to hold your hand. You know, and I'll do that. It'll take a while, but Lee said he'll help me. I don't know nothing about writing books, but my son has already wrote the chapters out for me. One of them, Inferno's Legacy, from the start at 4 years old when I did that in my house and my little brother and sister died that day. That's where we'll start. Chapter 1, the matchstick. Yeah. It's going to be hard writing that part. But through me eyes, I'm going to write what I seen and what I didn't see, allegedly. I'm probably going to use that word more time in my project than I would in anything else, allegedly. Well, a few facts as well. You know, myself, Gibbo, Harpo, Dougie, Yowzer, Whitey, Murray or Pat Maguire. We all grew up on that corner. We all knew what it is. It is what it is. You're either working or you're just going to sit on that corner forever waiting for handouts. You know, do something. And we did. And I wish I wasn't part of it, but I fucking am, and I was. And look on my community page, watch that documentary. That's the avenue where I grew up on. A lot of good lads that turned into bad lads, and a lot of bad lads that turned into good lads. You know, like, okay, the price of fame. How about this, right? In Dublin, not just in Ballyfermot, in Clondalkin, Tallaght, Cabra, everywhere you can fucking think of, right? Not just in Dublin, all around England. You have people that sell a shitload of drugs that never get caught. Okay, but all the little men get caught. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of the big drug dealers are tipping off the police. Do you understand? So they get a pass. It's happening in Liverpool. You know, a lot of families up there, high-profile families that are pushing weight in that city years. You know what I mean? I've no time for that shit where kids are. You know, because kids are dumb when they're young. They want to do what their mates do. If you jump in the fire, I'm jumping with you. You know, and that's how a lot of my mates got caught lacking. You know, they didn't realise how powerful heroin was. I didn't. Heroin was like God back then. You do anything for it. Just like you do anything for God. But anybody that sells that has the devil in their head. You know, like I said, you have to be accountable for your actions. I was held accountable. I was charged with supply. I was charged with a couple of other things too, allegedly. Now, compared to some of my friends, like, I truly believe if you do over 20 years in jail, you're institutionalised. That's just my opinion. I have friends that have done over 20 years and come out, and now I don't mean all in one go. I mean, like, you know, 2 year, 5 years, 6 year, 4 years, 6 year, fucking throughout their lifetime. You know, I have about 3 friends that have done over 20 years in jail, and I don't know how they've not lost their shit. You know, I couldn't cope with that. Every day it's pressure. And if you're not getting on with somebody, you need to keep your fucking eye open. You know, because prison's a scary place. Been there, done it. And I knew I wasn't a tough guy when I went to Mountjoy prison, mate. I said, God, if you're up there and you're real, you get me out of here with one of me eyes. One of me eyes, yeah, I have a fucking spare one, right? So it's like, just like I have a spare arm, listen to me. I say it and I fucking say it. And I said, the next time I hit a cunt with this, I'm going to break it on his face. Like, it wouldn't have been, listen, it is what it is. This arm is fucked, but I still have a couple of bangs in it. But, so the reason why I put it on my community page is to show you that you can walk away from that life. But know this, when the life comes knocking at your fucking door, where your mother is, where your father is. In fact, how about this? Where your sister is, where your babies are. You see, it's rootless Dublin, you know, and they don't give a fuck. You know, I'm just so glad and grateful to God that He's guided me to 50 years old. You know, and at the end of it, education's the way forward, not glorifying tough guys or villains or, you know, like, you know, I'm a granddad. It's like, and I truly believe fighting is just in us, you know, but I've a bit of fight left in me, but I truly believe fighting is for young men, you know. I've always loved the sport, you know, myself and my brothers, dedicated, not just the fact that we taking part, but I'm also a fan of the sport. How are you, Mr. Celtic? But, you know, like I said, you are the company you keep. That's what my dad told me. And all my life, and I wanted to be good at, I surrounded myself by the best of them. Well, some people would say they're the worst of them. But in order to learn and to take another step, you have to do things you mightn't want to do. And you might have to take 2 steps and stamp on your mate's neck on the way up. But I'm 51 this year, and what I've learned in life is, it's like, there has to come a time when you say, you know what, enough's enough, like, you know, like Dublin gangland, it's a scary fucking world, and it's like, once you have control of the docks, you've got the city there, mate. Fucking there, mate. It's fucking there. Now, like I said, the difference between low-level drug dealers like I was as a kid, allegedly, as a fucking kid, looking up to men, you know, and then it goes from a load of people stood at a wall every night to becoming and snowballing into a cartel. Like I said, go on my community page and watch it, and you'll understand. Like I said, you not think like there's not other areas around the world that are just as bad. Like, see where Scott lives in Australia. There's loads of gangs. Do you understand? Like fucking Maori gangs, fucking, like, it's crazy over there. It's the same all around the world. Once you have a supply for something, or once you have a demand for something, there'll always be a supply. Do you understand? It's like, yeah, I'll put it to you another way. Look, yeah, look, right. Supply and demand. Right, so if you have a supply, you'll have a demand. So basically, it's like supply and demand. I'll supply you whatever you need, and I demand pesos, punt, peas done. Supply and demand. Once there's a supply, you'll get a demand. What time is it? Right, I'm gonna fuck off and I'll be back on later on. Thanks everyone for coming in. Exactly. Well, Scott, like I said, you can relate to that. You know, like, I'm sure in one of the areas you've lived in Australia, you've witnessed some of your mates probably steal cars or sell drugs at a very low level. You know, it's always the baby, it's always the low level ones that get nicked. And all the big drug dealers are getting richer and richer because too many people are taking the fall for them. Oh, don't worry about it, you'll be all right. But now this, you've lost £250,000 worth of cocaine on me. When you get out, you're going to pay that back. And if you don't, I'll go to your ma's house. You know, like, you imagine someone saying that to you when you're in jail, bro. You know, you want, like, you did that. You know, now look, they're threatening your family, bro. You know, all because of the world you got fucked up in. Well, Finn, I'm going 5 minutes because the missus is going on the school run, but Finn will tell you, look, Dublin, it's like I can only, look, I left the place. I thought I was a man at 18. I wasn't. You know, it's like the 28th of September, 1993. Yeah, on my mate's birthday, I decided, you know, I have to let me mates go and me kids go. Which ones are going to be? Flip a coin. Have you got 5pence? Flip a coin. A coin is sacred. Know that. I flipped the coin. I played with it, the coin, and then I flipped it, and I landed on the heads. So I had to choose a head or a head, so I chose my son's head over my pals. I put my principles and my pride aside. You see, having me son changed my fucking outlook on life. Coming to England and being helped by a black woman before I went to the UK, I was racist. I'd call you a black pig to your face. If you were gay, I'd punch it in your face. That's how fucking ignorant I was, and how much of a fucking bowsy and belligerent, and you know, like you fucking attack a person because the colour of their skin, their religion, or their sexuality. You're an insecure little prick. Look at that one as well, look. Boom! It's like, you know, but like with time, it's like fine wine. It ages with time. You know, like I said, it's like after you see, like I said, watch that thing on my community page, like, I grew up with killers. You know, they're not my friends anymore. You know, you can't have friendships with someone that's killed a friend. You know, we never signed up for that. You know, we all made a pact one day when we're all rich and we have yachts in Monaco. I missed a fucking boat, put it that way. And the lads that are at home didn't miss the boat. And now they've grown into a cartel called the Family. And I tell you one thing, it's next level, allegedly. £18 million, Finn. Like, do you understand? Like I said, I know, you know the laddie name in it, Brian. When I left Dublin, Finn, he was a kid, you know. Like, I knew his brothers, you know. His cousin Rusty lived over in Manchester. He stayed here over here because I was here on my own. He said, you know what, fuck it, I'm staying in England. Fatty was over for one weekend, David Glendon. He bought a shit car off someone for £220 and he's driving it, a Rover, and he gets blue lighted. The fucking car's only stolen. He didn't know it. He fucking went into that, what's it called, Auto Trade. You know that magazine, Finn? The Auto fucking Trade, and he bought a car. It ended up being nicked. He gets nicked. You know, but rest in peace to Rusty. You know, like I said, in the asylum, like, he watched my back, you know what I mean? Because I was a youngster. You know, I was the little brother to all the boys, you know. And that's how they treated me, like a little fucking brother. And it's like a lot, like, I'm not lying. You know, I remember one night in the asylum where guns were pointed, and here one of them was pointed at me. I was on me tits. I was like, go on, shoot me. But you don't think of that. Well, I think that's why he got the nickname, but I used to be terrified of him, but it's like you become a friend. you know, like, oh, mate, right, so check this. He fucking comes to visit me, right? There's 3 lads sitting on me wall, 3 black lads, right? Now, do you want me neighbours' kids and their mates? I had an issue with them a few months previous. This cunt comes over, yeah? He's like, what are them BBs doing on your wall? I was like, what? He said, see that black bit? I was like, bro, here, whoa, here. You can't be saying things like that. Why not? Watch me. He does this, yeah? Takes his top off, right? T-shirt off. A full body tattoo of an IRA man, like that. Look here. With a fucking AK, like this, look. Right? With a big fucking... He's got a big mural of a big IRA man with a bally over his fucking head, yeah? It's like, where's me machete? I'm like, what? What machete? He's like, hang on a minute. I'll get rid of them COONs on the wall. I was like, bro, leave them. He runs out with him fucking big fucking cleaver, fucking machete, chasing these youths down the road, laughing. I'm like, bro, they're me fucking neighbours. I'll come back and me fucking window will be gone in. You know, you can't do that here, bro. It's not fucking at home. He's like, fuck them. And anyway, what are you going to do? I was like, bro, I don't need any aggravation at my door. You're only here 5 minutes and look, you're causing trouble already. The ex hated him. I have to go. But thanks everyone for coming in. I'll fucking be back on later on. I'll just fucking, where's it gone? Whatever. See what I mean? Right, guys, listen, I'm going to have to go because I'm fucking... I'll fill in a few blanks later on, but like I said, that go look on my community page, have a look at that quick documentary, and we'll talk about it tonight. If you have 20 minutes, watch it. It's very interesting. That's the housing estate I walked away from. It's the housing estate where Jude MacDonald got tortured in Cherry Orchard. And when you don't tell on people, do you respect that? Anyway, I'm away. I'll see you later on.